Nothing was wrong except she felt alone. He did everything right. He texted when he said he would. He showed up on time. He remembered her mother's name. He asked about her day and waited for the answer. When she told friends about him, she described him with calm certainty. "He's really solid," she said. "He's good to me." And he was. That was what made it harder to explain the emptiness that followed her around the apartment like a quiet draft. It wasn't that he ignored her. He sat beside her on the couch. He watched shows with her. He reached for her hand when they crossed the street. But sometimes, in the middle of a conversation, she would look at him and feel as if she were speaking into a well. He would nod. He would offer a response. He would even mirror her words back, correctly. And still, she would feel unseen, like her actual self was standing a few inches behind her body. She started noticing how often she said, "It's fine." Not because she wanted to lie, because there was no other sentence that fit the shape of her confusion. One evening, she came home tired, not exhausted, just worn in a small way that made her want softness. She found him in the kitchen cooking. He looked up and smiled. He kissed her cheek. The smell of garlic filled the room. "Dinner's almost ready," he said. She wanted to say, "I don't need dinner, I need you." Instead, she said, "Smells good." They ate. The food was good. He asked about her day. She told him a story about a colleague. He chuckled in the right places. She waited for a moment where he might ask something deeper. Something that felt like he wanted to meet her underneath the details. But he didn't. He moved on to telling her about a podcast he'd listened to. Then a minor annoyance at work. Then a plan for the weekend. Everything was reasonable. Everything was fine. After dinner, she washed the dishes while he wiped the counter. Their movements fit together. They were efficient, domestic, peaceful. She felt a sudden urge to cry, and it shocked her. She turned on the tap a little harder so the water would cover the sound of her breathing. He noticed anyway. He always noticed changes in her face. He was attentive like that. "Hey," he said. "What's wrong?" The question was kind. It was also a trap, because she didn't know how to answer without sounding ungrateful. She looked at the plate in her hands. "Nothing." He stepped closer. "Talk to me." She wanted to. She wanted to say, "I feel lonely next to you. I feel like I'm performing the version of me you can handle. I feel like we live beside each other, not with each other." But she could already imagine his expression, concerned, confused, eager to fix. He would ask for examples. He would propose changes. He would make a plan. And somehow, a plan would make it worse. Because the thing she wanted wasn't an adjustment, it was a feeling. So she said, "I'm just tired." He accepted that. He hugged her. His arms were warm. His chest rose and fell steadily against her. She held him back. She tried to let it land. She tried to let warmth become closeness, but inside she stayed separate, listening, waiting. Later, they lay in bed. He scrolled on his phone. She stared at the ceiling. He reached over and squeezed her hand absent-mindedly, without looking. The squeeze was automatic, like turning off a light switch. She squeezed back, because that's what you do. Days turned into weeks. Her loneliness didn't get louder. It got more ordinary. It appeared in small moments, when she told him something she was proud of and he said, "That's great," without looking up. When she showed him a song and he listened politely, then returned to his own playlist. When she tried to kiss him slowly and he responded quickly, as if checking a box. She began to feel like an accessory to his life, a loved accessory, a valued one, but still, something that fit into his day rather than something that changed it. He never hurt her. That was the strangest part. She would catch herself imagining arguments, not because she wanted drama, but because arguments meant friction, and friction meant contact. One night, she sat on the floor of the living room, back against the couch, and listened to the building's quiet. A neighbor's footsteps, a distant siren, the refrigerator humming. He came in and sat beside her. "What are you doing?" "Nothing," she said. He leaned his head against hers. "You're cute." She closed her eyes. The word cute landed like a blanket. Warm. Heavy. Not what she needed. She realized she had been collecting evidence that things were fine, while her body kept telling her a different story. Nothing was wrong. And yet, she kept feeling alone, the way a person can feel alone in a crowded room where everyone is speaking politely.